Okay, hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow. I haven't spoken out loud today, and somehow that's how my voice sounds, but today is a better day because you're waking up, and of course, I was screaming yesterday. My voice sounds a little bit different, but you're waking up today to a different world. It's a brand new world. Okay, so Bayern Munich could potentially lose Thiago and Alaba this summer, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, analyzing it. And actually, waking up this morning, man, I feel a little bit confident. I feel like Bayern have signaled to me that something different will happen than what everyone thinks. I mean, the entire world seems to think Thiago to Liverpool is done. When Karl-Heinz Rummenigge literally said that they have not received a single offer for Thiago, Thiago has not received any offers. So no one has offered anything for Thiago. The only thing is Thiago is linked and is thinking about leaving Bayern. I read the message and I read the transcript again. He didn't say Thiago was leaving. All he said was Thiago could potentially leave because something different has popped up in his head. He said they had the contracts prepared, everything was set up, but Thiago had a different idea in mind and got something different. And he also said, let's wait and see. I don't think Thiago will leave. And also, Hansi Flick, in a press conference yesterday by the DFB, which is very, very important. I'm going to read it to you, but before I do, let's change the screens because I actually want you to read it for yourselves so some of you don't think I'm lying. So, they ask him, you gave both Thiago and David Alaba a huge hug after the game. Is that your way of saying goodbye? Hansi Flick does that. He hugs all his players as any manager should, and I like that about him. In my opinion, Flick says, Thiago is an exceptional player. He knows that as well. I've told him that already. You can see that he identifies himself completely with the club. Alaba has become an exceptional player at this position. The entire club knows what a player he is and greatly values him. I hope that we are able to keep both of these guys, these talented players, even if I know it may not be easy to do so in Thiago's situation. I will do everything in order to ensure that we keep both these talented players at the club. Highly talented, that's what he said. You know what? That gave me a little bit of confidence. I feel like if the manager Flick is saying it publicly that he wants to keep Thiago and Alaba, that is a ploy from Hansi Flick because a lot of managers will reserve and say, oh, things are happening behind the scenes. He never really said, oh, Neuer, done contract. Muller, done contract. I think Alaba won't leave, first of all. He did mention that Thiago's situation, it won't be as easy to do. Because, look, Frank Ribéry has Alaba's number. He's literally, Alaba, you want to leave Bayern? You better stay. Ribéry's basically calling him every single day at this point, most likely. Because we all know Ribéry loves this club, and he's probably going to make sure Alaba stays. He'll kill Alaba. He'll kill him for the love of the game. Because, look, I don't think we can lose Alaba. Or even Thiago. We can't afford. A lot of people are saying, Thiago's 29. What? We could let him go. And I'm thinking to myself, Thiago is a midfielder. The way he plays the game, he doesn't rely on his physical impulsiveness. In my opinion, I think Thiago could play till he's like 35 at a world-class level, in my opinion. Look at Modric. Modric is like 34. He's still playing at a high level. People just think when you hit 30, you're done. Do you play too much Football Manager or too much FIFA? When players hit 30, it's actually when they're in their primes. Look at Sergio Ramos. He's like 33. The guy's still balling. Look at Lewandowski. He's 32. He's literally the best striker in the world. Has been like that for the last 5 to 7 years. So for me, I think that Thiago is still very much in his prime. Still 29. And I think if the manager, if Flick wants to keep them, we have to do whatever it takes as a club to keep them. Because that's a form of backing your manager. I said it a few days ago when I was talking about Hansi Flick's demands. He wants to keep the players. He wants Thiago and Alaba to be in his plans. And if you don't back your manager by making sure you do every single thing possible to keep these two players, then you're not backing your manager. Then we're in the situation where it's a manager that feels like they've been hard done by. It's a manager that feels like they lost someone. And then you're in a situation where you have to go replace them. Someone was telling me, hey, George, but we can just rotate our... Do you not understand how depth works? A lot of people have been suggesting put Alaba in midfield and Lucas Hernandez as center back. The only reason Alaba is a center back is because we get a lot of injuries. Niklas Süle and Lucas Hernandez simultaneously got injured around the same time, which meant we had to maneuver a back line. The best thing that came out of that was Alphonso Davies. But that's not how it works all the time. If we put Lucas as center back and move Alaba to CDM, well, now Thiago could literally just find a bigger reason to leave. Well, now, it's just not how football works. If you get rid of Alaba, if Alaba's gone, you have to replace him with a world-class player, because right now Alaba is world-class. You would have to get another center back. Oh, forget about Tanguy Kalsi coming in. That's a brilliant signing. But is he a starter at the moment? Is he going to be world-class like Alaba? People think we're fighting to win the Europa League or fighting for qualification for the Champions League. No, we're fighting to win the Champions League every single year. We can't be selling players and thinking, oh, we're fine. Just play Lucas center back, move Alaba to CDM, take Goretzka out. Has Goretzka not done enough to be starting? And then at the same time, some people are like, oh, we don't need to replace Thiago. We have Goretzka and Kimmich. Well, then if you get rid of Thiago's a world-class CDM/center mid at the moment. One of the best in the world at what he does every single week. If you sell Thiago, if you get rid of Thiago, you have to bring in another one. You have to bring in a Houssem Aouar, someone that's close to Thiago's level. Because there aren't that many players in the world that can do what Thiago can do on the pitch, that's for starters. So, if you get rid of Thiago, you'd have to bring in another world-class talent. And that's, for me, the dilemma here. We know Bayern aren't good at bringing out CDMs or central midfielders. Look at what happened with Renato Sanchez, Tolisso. These are high-profile signings that we bought talent at the time that have kind of dropped off. Has Tolisso been doing it since he joined us in 2017? No, Goretzka's done more for this club in a shorter time span than Tolisso. Now, Tolisso did pick up an injury, but it still shows Bayern's track record of replacing central midfielders. It's only in the last few years with Goretzka and Kimmich and Thiago and that midfield, becoming stronger and stronger, even under Carlo Ancelotti, that I would say we fully replaced Bastian Schweinsteiger. Did we ever? Who was Bastian Schweinsteiger's replacement? Who was he? Was he Goretzka? Because that was too late. You get Bastian Schweinsteiger's replacement immediately after Bastian leaves. Who was Philipp Lahm's replacement right away? Kimmich? See, that's what I mean with Bayern. We don't replace. Well, if Kimmich wanted to play midfield and we knew that, did Pavard come in a year before he did? Because Pavard came in 2018, people keep forgetting. So we got Bastian Schweinsteiger's replacement almost 2 years after he left in 2017. Because Pavard only started playing for us in 2019. We got him in January of 2019. People think Pavard's been here for 10 years, but he hasn't. Philipp Lahm's replacement came 2 years after Philipp Lahm left. Xabi Alonso's replacement, Schweinsteiger's replacement, Kimmich. Kimmich only really became a central midfielder this season. Before that, he was right back, center mid, sometimes right back. He sometimes plays center back. But was that Bastian Schweinsteiger's replacement? Who was Javi Martinez's replacement? Javi was a key member of the squad. He got injured after the treble season, but that's a different thing. But Javi slowed down. Who was his replacement? See, that's the thing. When people are saying our board would just get someone else to replace, over the last, I'd say 10 years, we haven't shown a track record of replacing players thoroughly and as effectively. People look at our transfers, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Of course it is. But sometimes you have to look at them in full context. A lot of these bargain signings we get didn't come in and immediately, they took time. So I like that about us. I like that. But sometimes when a player like Thiago leaves, you have to bring in a player that's on a similar level to Thiago. And I think that's exactly what we need. By the way, leave a like on the video. It's been amazing. We need to keep Thiago and Alaba at all costs. That is true. Tolisso's first season was great. And where is that first season now? It's not 2017 anymore. Look, that's my point with Bayern is a lot of people think, oh yeah, well, this is what we mean by let's get replacements. We can just get someone else. But you have to understand it's in context. And John Alaba doesn't want to go to Chelsea. He only wants to consider Spain. So that would be Barcelona and Real Madrid. Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona's broke. They wanted Alaba, but they're broke. Real Madrid want Alaba, but I don't think they can afford him either. And, I'm just in a situation where I trust the board. Getting Sané, I'm positive. You know what? There's a lot of sources coming out, or no sources really. Basically, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge just said a couple of days ago that he wants to get Kai Havertz next year, essentially. And he said Bayern aren't going to go in for him this year. And also, Hansi Flick talked about Havertz. I actually really like this. He talked about Havertz, and I thought it was a very smart way of saying it could happen next year. He said, I don't know, when did he say this? God, okay. Flick on Havertz's 100 million euro price tag. The time with Girona changed a lot. FC Bayern is no longer able to spend money so easily and must proceed carefully. That was on Havertz. I think this is a sign for me that Kai Havertz, Bayern knows something that we don't. Why has Fabrizio Romano, who knows a lot of people are saying, a lot of Chelsea fans saying, and also an ex-Leverkusen board member, their president, ex-CEO or something like that, he said Kai Havertz would like Spain, and it's between Spain and Germany with Bayern. So I think Havertz is going to stay at Leverkusen for an extra year, and then he'll join Bayern next year. I'm actually very convinced of that. Because why would Flick say something along that line? Why would Karl-Heinz Rummenigge just say we won't bid for Havertz this year? Why would these players say these things? And if it wasn't, if they didn't have substance in it, and I think that's the case. Kai Havertz will stay at Leverkusen this year, and next year he would join us. If Havertz stays at Leverkusen, you go to Bayern in a year. I think that. You don't think Havertz is looking at Chelsea going, he isn't looking at his Instagram comments, join Chelsea, come to Chelsea. Yeah, that's cool. You don't think he's looking at Chelsea, he's watching matches of how crap you are defensively. Havertz wants to go to, no disrespect to Chelsea fans, but your club is still a project. Alaba should stay because he would get a legendary goodbye. I mean, that wouldn't be the only reason he should stay. He should stay because we want him to and we need him. But, yeah, I'm confident with Thiago now. When Hansi Flick, if we lose Thiago, well, at least I know the board tried everything. At least I know Hansi Flick tried everything. Hansi's literally saying it publicly. If you go on Thiago's Instagrams, his social media, it's just a billion comments about how he should stay at Bayern. Stay at Bayern, Miastro. Look, Thiago is such a good player. I'm actually confident he'll stay. I think he'll put pen to paper. I think, obviously, the squad will go. Tomorrow's the last media day. I think they'll announce Sané or something or present him. Hansi Flick will have a press conference. And the squad will have a 13-day break. And then they'll come back in 13 days. So we won't see any training videos for another 13 days. I'm fine with that. But after the 13 days, the squad will return to prepare for the Champions League in August. I think that's absolutely superb, which gives us, the board, 13 days to be working with Alaba and Thiago. I think Thiago will be thinking about his future, so will Alaba, and they'll put pen to paper. I'm actually confident. I don't know why Thiago would leave and go to any other club right now. I just don't get it. I mean, you could say Liverpool, but Liverpool are broke. For me, I was like, well, why would Thiago go to Liverpool? They're broke. He can't go to Juventus or any other Serie A club because Bayern's bigger than all of them combined at this moment in time. He can't go to Spain because he won't go to Real Madrid because he's La Masia through and through. Barcelona just bought Pjanic, so they're not going to buy Thiago because they couldn't even afford to buy Pjanic. They had to do a swap deal with one of their best midfielders. Just doesn't make any sense. He wouldn't go. So the only place that I look at is City. But Thiago and Pep don't have that kind of relationship where Thiago follows Pep everywhere. Pep just likes Thiago. Thiago likes Pep's system, so he followed him to Bayern. But that wasn't just a Pep thing. That was also Bayern wanting to buy and piss off Barcelona. So that's amazing, right? And Pep did have a huge say in Thiago coming here. So he doesn't necessarily have to go to City. And City just bought Rodri. They have an abundance of midfielders at the moment. Why would Thiago go to Manchester City? Just doesn't make any sense. So the only club that's big enough to rival Bayern at the current moment in time is Liverpool. But Liverpool are broke. Liverpool couldn't afford Timo Werner, and he only cost 45 million pounds or something like that. So if Liverpool couldn't afford 45 million pounds for Timo Werner, a player that you could really say they needed to get, a type of player like that, how are they going to afford Thiago when their midfield is functional? It works. Wijnaldum is the same age as Thiago. Thiago's like a billion times better, but you get what I mean. And they have Hendersons, they have midfielders. So, and they have Keita. Keita is almost like a type of Thiago. So, why would Liverpool be the ones to get Thiago? I think Thiago will stay at Bayern because he will look at all of this and he'll be like, you know what? Of course, I'd like to maybe try something different in my career. All Thiago wants to do is maybe try something different. And I don't blame him. It's his career. He wants to try a different team. He wants to be in a different country. He wants to speak a different language on a regular basis. He wants to play with different players. He's known all these Bayern players for like 8 years. And maybe he does want to try something different. But I think it's also a great reason why he could stay, because he knows the club. And Hansi Flick says it himself. He identifies with the structure and the ways of the club. And I think you can watch Thiago embodies Miyasa Mi on that pitch, man. The way he plays, works hard. Every single ball he recovers. Tackles, every single tackle he wins. Oh, geez, this guy is so class. In every department of his game, he's absolutely world class. I don't know I don't know the amount of players that can do what he can do, but you can see it with Thiago, man. He's absolutely superb. And by the way, leave a like on the video. Why are there so many? I don't know. I think Chelsea fans are convinced they'll get Havertz. Simeone, what about the Champions League? Someone was actually saying some decent point. They were saying that teams like Atletico Madrid that defend very deep could benefit from the one-legged tournaments. And I was very confused because I'm like, well, one leg means if you score any moment in the game, you win. I don't exactly know. I think one legs in the Champions League actually makes it more fun. Someone was like, you're going to put an asterisk in it. I'm like, yo, first of all, the quality of football will be 10 times better because there could still be no fans in the Champions League. I personally think there's no way UEFA don't allow fans. I think at least in the finals, there will be fans in the stadium. And if UEFA are basically almost predicting that the remaining round of 16 games happen in Portugal, and Portugal, if you read the news reports, Portugal are pretty much reopening their country. I think the Champions League could really be in front of fans. I actually think that if Thiago is leaving, then we should keep Tolisso. And then, yeah, amazing, keep Tolisso. That's like saying, you know what, if my girlfriend is leaving, well, at least I got my homies. Like, yeah, of course you like your homies, but, you know, your homies ain't going to give you satisfaction like that. So it's just how it is for me. I just think that, of course, Tolisso, yeah, he's a sentimentalism player. You just look at him. He wore a Bayern shirt when he was younger. He was a fan of the club. But he ain't a good player, so, you know, he hasn't proven himself at Bayern. If we sell Tolisso, it's not because he wants to move, it's because we want to sell him. So, I do think the City ban should stand, because if we all know Man City cheated. Where did the money come from? Where they all of a sudden just got $1 billion to spend on the most expensive squad of all time when they weren't even a good club. They weren't even getting Europe. At least Liverpool, I'm like, well, they sold Coutinho. They actually built to where they are, genuinely. But with Man City, they cheated. So City should get their band up kept, because they don't need. It's not like it's gonna hurt them anyways. They're just gonna spend £1 billion more, and they're probably just gonna bribe UEFA, aren't they? Replace them with Havertz and Upamecano. Why? No. Bayern have already ruled out Havertz this year. I think that's true. But that also just, you know, the word this year makes me feel so confident, though. Because why are our club just publicly saying they want to sign Kai Havertz in 2021? That's basically telling Havertz, hey, man, if you stay Leverkusen, we'll sign you. And that's it. That's how it works. You saw how Hassan Salamans went to Havertz, tapped him in the head. It was like, yo, you're good. You're good, man. You're good, because that's where we're at right now. And I think it's really important to look at it from the full perspective. If Chelsea don't get CL, they won't get Havertz this season. Their chances become like 5%, because of course there's this. I do think it's a myth that players won't move to you if you don't, you know, get to a certain stage, but it's true. And also, if Bayern win the CL, players will want to be part of that. And what did Unai Hoeneß say a few weeks ago? He said, We've known Bayern don't want to sign Havertz in 2020, though. We've just been thinking it might be an exception because they don't want to miss out, and Chelsea are magically 10 times closer. We've known that. But I think the player, Kai Havertz, will think about his future. He'll be like, you know what? Chelsea isn't that much bigger than Leverkusen in terms of trophies. Chelsea isn't competing for any trophies genuinely right now. They're not going to win any magnificent trophies. And Havertz will stay at Leverkusen next year. He either goes to Real Madrid or Bayern. Because Madrid themselves don't want to do a transfer this year. And that's the situation we're in. Real Madrid want Havertz. They don't want to do a transfer this year. Havertz, apparently, according to Leverkusen's former CEO, and a source coming out from Sports Buzz a few weeks ago, said Havertz wants to choose between Germany, and that's Bayern, and Spain. So now we're feeling good. I'm so deluded. I'm not deluded, bro. I'm just thinking about it from a factual perspective. When a billion people, insiders of the club, are saying, even look. Let me hear my perspective for a second. Why would Leverkusen CEO say he wants Havertz to stay next year, and then at the same time also say he wants to get 100 million for him? Havertz's contract expires in 2022. My logic is they'll get the same amount of money they get this year. The money they get this year could even be lower than next year's. So what if Bayern tell Leverkusen, if you can convince Kai to stay, we'll give you exactly what you're asking this season next year? And maybe that's the situation. And I think if Bayern are backing off, like, we won't sign him this year. We won't sign him this year in 2020. That's what Kyle-Heinz Rummenigge just said. In 2020, we want to go at this next. They said it word for word. And Hansi Flick said you have to proceed with finances in terms of Kai Havertz carefully. I think he's looking at it like, okay, if the player wants to move this year, we have to try. But if he stays at Leverkusen, it's good for Bayern. By the way, leave a like on the video. I think I'm excited today. I don't know why. I just feel so positive. I think this Sane thing has proven to me. Well, I will mark your statement. When he doesn't leave this summer, we'll just laugh, won't we? But I think we, just look at it. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Wow. Oh my God, Sergio Ramos is too much. Wow, why are people texting me when I'm live? They could just not do that. Why are random people adding me? I don't care if we don't sign Havertz if it means, get out of here, Kai Havertz. I don't really care about you. If Thiago and Alaba leave, I'd take Thiago and Alaba staying over getting Kai Havertz any day of the week. And it's just how I am. I just think we cannot miss out on the opportunity to keep our players. I'm just so nervous, man. I am nervous, though. I think if something goes wrong if Thiago leaves, we definitely know Bayern will have to get someone creative on his level of creativity on the pitch. Because Thiago, he doesn't create as many chances or have as many key passes as Kimmich, but he has that unlock to defense type of pass. Him and Kimmich have the same. Where did Kimmich get this technical ability from? I was watching Kimmich yesterday, and he made this run, and I was like, you've never done that in your life. And he never made that run. He was moving the ball like Iniesta. Oh my God. Or Xavi. It's really, really, really crazy. Suddenly exactly. Everyone here seems like they're Kai Havertz's closest friends. At the end of the day, we all don't know. We all don't know what will happen behind the scenes. But I just feel like, based off what all these Leverkusen's managers saying about wanting to keep him, Havertz will be like, hey, I want to leave. But Leverkusen will be like, we want you to stay. What if they give him more money? You never know. And give him more. What if imagine Havertz signs a new contract and he's like, I want to build the club with Leverkusen. We're all going to look like some real idiots. So let's see what happens with Thiago and Alaba, because that's the most important thing. I just need it to be smooth. And also, if Alaba leaves, like I said it at the beginning of this, if he leaves, we need replacements anyway. So I don't think the club wants to do business. I think we're the laziest club in the transfer window. Like, we don't like doing transfers, especially in the transfer window. Why do you think we do everything before? I don't think Bayern enjoy it. Our board definitely don't like doing transfers in the transfer window. So if we let important players like Alaba and Thiago leave, we'll have to be searching for replacements. And also, guess what? The transfer window closes, I think, October 4th October, something like that, 15th, maybe the midway of October. So the German transfer window is open, however. So we ain't linked to anyone in the, well, only Havertz. And actually, if we were to get him this year, we would have probably already agreed, or it would be so close. But I don't think he will move out this year. But looking at it, if Bayern lose Thiago and Alaba, we have to get replacements in the transfer window. And we don't like doing that. We usually sign our players, or we try, January or beginning of transfer window. I mean, sometimes it's even miraculously the end of a transfer window. And you saw with Sane, I don't think Bayern were like, hell no, we are not going through this again. Because the board they like smoking cigars on holiday. They do. They'll probably deny it, but they do. Our board loves smoking cigars and eating German sausages. That's the most important thing with them. So they like relaxing. They always say it. We want to relax. We are relaxed. We're always going to be relaxed. They say it. We're relaxed about transfers. And I like that mentality, but I also hate it. Because it means that with contract negotiations, I wonder if they're constantly going at them with barrages of, are you going to sign yet? Are you going to sign yet? I want our board to be doing that to Alaba and Thiago. Constantly calling them. And that's how Bayern are, though. I like what Karl-Heinz Rummenigge came out a couple days ago and said about Lucas. It really made me just take it into perspective. He said, Lucas Hernandez, we bought him with an injury, but they trust him that much to the point where even when PSG are coming out and could potentially offer, they're just like, nope, we're not selling. That's what Bayern's about, man. I love that. I love that because obviously from my perspective, and I think this is the thing with majority of fans, we all jump into conclusions at like any opportunity we get. Oh, a player's crap. I think I watch us. People are like, start this player. But then this player gets a start and they're crap. And they're like, well, maybe we should have started the way it was working. And that's how we are. We're like, oh, if we start this guy, we would have won that game. No, we wouldn't. We would have probably lost the same game. But then if we start, it's just how we are as fans. So when I look at just what's happening, I think our board saying things like Lucas Hernandez, you know what? We spent money. He's expensive, but we believe he can prove himself. And I believe Lucas can prove himself too. I said it. Lucas Hernandez can literally be that type of center back, that flawless, can do everything. But I felt like, you know what? I'd take money for him if that was the case. And I believe Lucas Hernandez will be, just one of the best center backs in the world if he wants to be, as long as he stays fit. Did you see yesterday? This guy just came on the pitch and changed the game. Not changed the game. You know what I mean. he changed the game, right? He just did that because he's Lucas Hernandez, and that's what I need. And I like that about him. I like that aspect of our play. I like that. So in terms of just the players, I believe in this board, but I also don't believe in this board. They're the same board that, but you can't just believe them too much because they're the same people that bought Renato Sanchez, sent him out on loan. Well, that was more of a Carlo Ancelotti type of thing. Carlo didn't like. Wow, we really messed up Renato Sanchez. You think we can get him back? Because Renato really wanted to play for us. He had so much patience, but then he wouldn't get a run of games. And 22 years old, he's killing it in Ligue 1. But I hope he can actually really get his thing back. Can I get your number? No. No. Chelsea signed Werner with literally no competition. And now suddenly yeah, that's true. I love Lucas when he's fit. He's a beast. Remember what he did. Exactly. Also, I remember this tackle. I think I was watching the game live. No. I remember, bro, I wanted Lucas at the World Cup. I was watching that World Cup and I was like, Lucas Hernandez is a baller. I like him at Bayern. And then when we signed him, I was through the moon, right? I was so excited. But then he was injured at the time, so he couldn't play in preseason. And then he was fit. Oh, I was watching the videos. Don't worry. I was watching his videos about his recovery. He recovered, and then he started making his way into the team. And he wasn't, he didn't really do anything out of. He was, But what I love about Lucas is this guy's the type of guy, right, to go home and beat his wife if he doesn't get a clean sheet. He's that type of dude, because you can see it in him. Like, my man really likes to get a clean sheet, and that's the thing with Lucas Hernandez that I like about. He's just that type of player, and I really, really like that. I need that to be the case. What is the news for today, says Alexander. So basically what's happening around around Alaba and Thiago. Hansi Flick came out a couple of days ago. George, it was yesterday. Well, it was yesterday. And I'll read the quotes to you and you make your mind up. I think Hansi Flick really wants to keep these two players because he actually said, they asked him, you gave both Alaba and Thiago a big hug. You know what? Hansi Flick, there's a whole thread on Twitter about how wholesome he is. But were you saying goodbye already? They asked him. He said, in his opinion, Alaba and Thiago are superb players, and they identify with the club. He'd like to keep both of them. It would be harder to keep Thiago than it is to keep Alaba, and he would do everything to ensure that they both stay. And I think that's perfect, spot on. And also, remember a few weeks ago, Thiago came out and said he wouldn't mind Coutinho staying at Bayern. So according to sources, Barcelona would accept 40 million or 35 million for Coutinho. What if we make Coutinho permanent? No, is this a crazy story? No, we wouldn't need Havertz, obviously, or what if we extend Coutinho's loan till next season? I know he gets a lot of money, but Coutinho strikes me as the type of guy that he doesn't care about money. He just likes playing the game. What if you tell Coutinho, hey, we'll give you this salary, we'll give you this, you can stay at our club for as long as you want. What if that's the case? One, Coutinho would definitely sell shirts. Bro, what if that's the case? And what if we keep Coutinho and Thiago's like, yeah, I'm staying with him because he's both Brazilian. Thiago's literally like 5 nationalities. He's Spanish, he's Italian, he's Portuguese, he's he's Brazilian, that's 4. What's the last nationality, George? Well, he's like half black, so he would be whatever nationality his dad is. So for me, Thiago has 5 nationalities. Look, if Coutinho stays, I think the club should try and keep Coutinho. I know it sounds so stupid considering he gets so much money, but if we can get him to take lower wages, because not many, Coutinho would love to stay here. He looks like, I think, oh man, this made me want to cry. So a couple of days ago, a story came out, actually not a story. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge just said, they asked Coutinho about Sané having the number 10 and if he could move to the number 7 or something. Well, not this season, but you know what I mean? Like they asked, and he said, "Thank you for telling me." He said, "Thanks for telling me," and that's so sad, man. He's so sad. Oh, damn it, man. Damn. Nah, this is what I mean. Like Coutinho probably just wants to. The guy's like he looks sad whenever he comes on the pitch. You know what? I hope he can win the Champions League with us. I pray he scores a big goal or something. Because, if he scores a big goal and Barcelona are going to accept it. Nah, you know what? If keeping Coutinho means Thiago stays, I'd take it, man. Now I want to cry. Y'all got me wanting to cry now because of Coutinho. Why is my chat becoming Chelsea, man? Look, if anyone wants to just continue to be Chelsea... why y'all argue every day? Can we just have fun? Why are there so many? Yeah, there's too many, man. And look, y'all must be triggered. I must really wind you up, as Gary Neville would say. Jeez, I'm actually just gonna start banning people. The next time I hear the name Chelsea, yeah, they do have a crush on me, Kaiser. They do. I don't know what's happening. Why y'all decide to care all of a sudden? Oh my God, am I that wind up? Am I that type of person? Do I wind you up, mate? I think I wind up Chelsea fans for a living right now. Not for a living. I don't make any living off this, but I might just continue. Oh, jeez, I like this. But, I'll just ban anyone that wants to keep arguing for no reason. Jeez. I'm actually just happy, we won the Pokal. We're on course to win the Champions League. If we win the Champions League, I'll miss out on Havertz any day. You think I'm gonna be here like, oh, we didn't sign Havertz, but we won the Champions League? No, I'm gonna be freaking crying, and I'm gonna be screaming. You won't hear Kai Havertz. I'll just delete all the Kai Havertz videos. It'll be like we never talked about him if we win the Champions League. Because I just don't. I wouldn't care at that point. Y'all must think I actually go home and. Well, I mean, you'd be correct in a way. You think I'm thinking to myself, oh, every second, oh, we need a second. Of course I do. I'm like, yeah, of course. But I'm not going to die if we don't. Like, you act like I'm going to die. Of course, I'm going to be, like, all devastated for maybe 3 hours. But then I'll probably just find a good reason to not be devastated again. Just relax. This is football, man. This is really football. I think, this Bayern team is still exceptional. And Thomas Muller's not going anywhere. And, I'm just excited. I'm actually just happy. Can y'all let me be happy? All right, Isaiah getting banned. Cool. Would you keep Perisic? Says Nasty Reborn. That's a good question. I wouldn't mind Perisic going. Because what exactly does he do for the club? I wish Bayern would sign. You know what? Someone has been saying that backup left winger, backup left back. We got like a surplus of left backs. I didn't know this, but Lucas actually played center back at Atletico more than he played. No. Well, he only played left back for the French national team. So we already have a left back there. So that's my situation. I wouldn't get a backup left back because you have Hernandez, you have Alaba. Why do I keep calling him Lucas Hernandez when I call Alaba? I don't call him David Alaba. I don't say David Alaba, but I call Lucas. Yeah, it just sounds good with my lips. Lucas Hernandez. Do you think Coutinho will play in the Champions League? Well, he should. Yeah, all our players, Odriozola, Perisic, and Coutinho on loan, have decided to extend their loans to the Champions League because Hansi Flick wanted to keep them. That's what I love about Flick. He just wants to keep his entire squad ready for the Champions League, and I like that. I like that aspect of him as a manager because a lot of managers would probably just be like, hey, yeah, it is what it is, and let's not. He wants to unify the same squad because Coutinho helped us in this Champions League run. Imagine Phil Coutinho, Perisic, and Odriozola leave and Bayern lift the big one. That would just look weird. So I think, Flick did really well by wanting to keep all of them. Alaba going to Inter will be, he's not going to Inter, Divyanshu. He won't. I think that was just a false rumor. Why would Alaba go to Inter unless he was making like $500,000 a week or something? No, he wouldn't go to Inter. Actually, we always talk about Man City and PSG and some other Newcastle now being oil money merchants. But Inter Milan, they're owned by, I think, Chinese people. They're not oil money merchants. They're just rich. So they're just as rich as the oil money merchants. Who should be the starting 11 for the UCL after yesterday? I think the same team for the Champions League has to be the team that started yesterday. Look, we don't have a Bayern match for the next month, so we're going to have a lot to be talking about. There'll be a lot more transfer stories coming out because that's how the media, that's how Bayern, I think Bayern pummel these stories out sometimes because they want to keep their fans engaged because that's how a business works. Imagine knowing that all of your fans care about transfers. But I think there'll be a lot more... I think that same team that started yesterday was superb. I mean, everyone got at least a 7. No one was poor yesterday. I gave Pavard and Davies a 7 because defensively they got. I don't like how they kept getting in crosses. I mean, I just don't like that. They turned Davies a few times, turned Pavard a few times. Our high line was working. Maybe that was a problem because they'd get in behind Pavard and Davies had to use his pace. Boateng and Pavard had to cover each other very well. Kimmich had to run back a lot and be a right back almost because they would get in behind. And I just think that same team was perfect yesterday except the defensive performance in the second half. If that's a team that's maybe better, we concede like 5 goals in that second half. I don't like how the crossing, they got past. I mean, Davies was superb first half and then our entire defense went to crap the second half. We still managed to keep them offsides a lot. I just saw an article saying PSG, and the reason why I won't talk about that is because it's stupid. Hector Bellerin couldn't even get himself high enough to be cleaning and licking Pavard's boots because Pavard is like, on a level that Bellerin can't see. Pavard actually eats meat for once, so I don't think. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not having him. Champions League starts back in August. Yeah, he does. It does. 33 days from now. So we're counting down. When it's 30 days. Oh, geez, we'll do the Chelsea preview. I can't wait to do that one. That would be fun. God, imagine I have school on the day. I do. I do have school on that Friday, but I know how I'm going to maneuver. Bellerin's better than Pavard. You must be smoking some sort of, I don't know what you're smoking. You must just be stupid then, because it's not true. Have you heard of Understat? I have not. Nasty, I have not. The flick effect is real. It is real, and we need to keep these players. I am a fan of Bayern's Munich. Can I get... No, you can't get my number. What is it with my number? What's my number going to do for you? What are your thoughts that Bayern is selling Thiago and lose out to Havertz? What are my thoughts on that, Arms? I don't think any of that will happen. Honestly, I think, well, if at least we know if Thiago was to leave, we'd sell him instead of letting him stay for free. Well, let him leave for free. I don't think Thiago would be the type of player. He loves this club. I think Thiago could still stay. But with Hansi Flick, I think, with Flick saying what he's saying, I actually have a little bit of confidence in that contract thing. George, the CL draws on Friday. Who do I care? I don't really give a crap. Well, we could. Oh, no, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Well, what if it's one of those draws where it's like, oh, the winners of Chelsea versus Bayern have to play the winners of City versus Real Madrid? That's not a fun draw for me. That's saying, oh, it's Real Madrid or City. I want to know who we play, like, right out. Imagine we play Atalanta. That would be amazing. No, but I actually kind of want to take out the big dogs right away. Kind of like how Liverpool played Bayern, and then they played Porto, and then they played Barcelona, and then they were in the final. I kind of want that more. Even Spurs. A lot of the teams that win the CL usually play the big teams early on. The teams that play the little teams don't get prepared enough. I think I want the hardest and toughest team that you can find. I want a PSG. I'm not going to lie. I want PSG to I don't want Leipzig. I don't want two Bundesliga teams drawing each other. I'm actually really against that. Draw includes semi. Oh, really nasty. Wow. What do you think? Will you ever go to a I was supposed to go to Turkey this year, but we all know what happened. I was supposed to go to Turkey because I actually believed Bayern would get to the Champions League final this year anyways, without the Sirona. It was after Liverpool got knocked out, and I was like so convinced I was going to Turkey because Bayern would make it to the final and win it. And I was going to go to Turkey and watch Bayern for the first time in real life and watch us in the Champions. But yeah, obviously something different decided to take place in the world, and now we're having to live with that. The final is probably going to be Bayern or PSG. Well, if the semifinals, thanks for telling me that. Who told me that? Yeah, whoever told me about the Champions League draw with the semifinals. Thank you so much for telling me that, because I didn't know the Oh yeah, a nasty reborn. Thank you so much for telling me that. Man City will win the why? Why did City win the Champions League? City can't even. The thing with Man City is there's one way, that happens with Pep teams. They're always favorites. That's what happened with Bayern every time Pep was here. We were always favorites whenever Pep was here. But the thing is, Pep doesn't have the tools or the man management to go and motivate his players to get over the line when it's tough. At Barcelona, you have Lionel Messi and you don't need to motivate these ballers. City can't defend. Yeah, that's true. Pep teams can't defend. They run at you. They crowd press. Bow! Like a freaking concert. Bow! Oh my God, he's here! Pep teams defending is like, how a dog sees its owner, but it's like 50 dogs. Oh my God, like pandas. They cling on to you. That's all they do. They don't even press. But thank you everyone so much for watching this. I can't believe it's been that long. 44 minutes. God. Leave a like on the video. Let's get to 40 likes before I leave this stream. 40 likes. That's the goal. 40 likes. If 50 people are watching something, 40 likes have to be present. I actually think that's possible. If we could get 40 likes on a video about blah blah blah, we can get 40 likes on this one. Because you know what? It does take time to create this. I woke up this morning, right? I didn't have the best of mornings. I mean, it was a great morning, but not the best one ever. But I still decided I get to go live. It's fun for me personally. But I decided to get 40 likes. So 40 likes and I leave the stream. 40 likes and we can finally end this. And we can finally be under pressed for 10 minutes straight. Because Bayern, what kind of club are we though? We get Sané, oh yeah, but let's just kill their freaking vibe with just terrible transfer stories. What kind of person says that? What kind of person does something like that? You know, we signed Sané. All of a sudden, Thiago, Alaba, Boateng, Javi Martinez could leave without sufficient replacements. Amazing. We're at 34 likes. Well, 6 more likes and I can leave. First time joining live, Melissa. Enjoy the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. The goal is 40 likes. I really do appreciate each and every person that's like. If you, he says fine, I'll leave. Nah, 40 likes and I can leave. You know what? 40 likes and Chelsea fans can have Kai Havertz. I don't give a crap now. 40 likes. You know what? Yeah, 40 likes. Let me just appeal to the masses. Oh look, we're flocking in. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Oh, there we go. 40 likes. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace. Jeez.